Welcome back, Doomses, Tubeses, Doomwaves here, and we're doing another update video, just a games update video. Nothing, well, I won't say nothing spectacular, because I've played some pretty spectacular games, but, not a lot. I really haven't been playing too much. I say that, but I usually play like 3 or 4 games at a time. I've noticed that I kind of get on a kick occasionally where I've got at least a console game, a handheld, and a PC game going on at the same time. This is true as per this update, but also I have a co-op game, which is another console game. So really there's been 4 main games taking up my time, and then a couple others that I beat on the side. They're both console games I beat on the side. And I'll talk about those first because I don't really have a whole lot to say about them, especially the first one. Not to say that it's not a good game, though, because it's fantastic. It is Raiden for the Atari Jaguar. Fantastic port of this game. Love Raiden. And it's very good on the Jaguar. Control is really awesome. I personally love the Jag controller. Not many people do, but I really dig it. This is one of my favorite games on the Jag. One of the only ones I have. But it was one of the main reasons that I bought the Jag, was because I had heard that this port of this game was so spectacular. But I will say, as much as I enjoyed this, I don't think I liked it as much as even, say, Raiden Trad on the Genesis, which is maybe a little bit harder too. I felt like Raiden Trad moved a little bit faster. This one felt a little slow at times, but that's just me. I just personally, I did love it though. It's a fantastic game, and definitely a really good reason to own a Jaguar. Or if you own a Jaguar, you need this game. It's pretty cheap. I want to say you can get a copy of this for $20, which is pretty good price for a good Jaguar game. There's lots of crap Jaguar games that may be cheaper, some of those racing games, Checker Flag and what have you. But as far as good Jaguar games go, $20 is good. Oddly enough, 2 of these are Jaguar games. The other game that I'm talking about is. But anyway, I don't need to talk about Raiden. There's nothing else to say. Fantastic vertical shoot 'em up. Not a lot to say. I mean, I keep saying that, but because I'm like fishing for things in my brain to say. Move on to the next one. It is Iron Soldier for the Jaguar. This is a really, really good game. If you can get past kind of a little bit of the wonky controller and the fact that what you're looking at is, really less than stellar graphics. The idea is it's a first-person mech shooter. You're piloting this Iron Soldier, some sort of a mech, and you're able to equip different weapons. You start out with just like an assault rifle, and you eventually get like a chain cutter, because there's a lot of times where you're like cutting down, you're like destroying buildings and stuff. And eventually you get like a shoulder-mounted Gatling gun, and like shoulder-mounted rocket launcher, and like cruise missile, and lots of other things too. It's a pretty tough game. I won't be all cool and say that I didn't actually look up a cheat code for unlimited ammo. I did not use the invincibility code, so it was tough to beat the game. But even with unlimited ammo, it was pretty tough. So, yeah, but I still had to find the weapons in the first place, which made it even tougher. There is a code on the Jaguar that you can punch in. It gives you all the weapons and unlocks all the levels too. What's cool about the Jag controller is it really lends itself to kind of stuff like this. So if you like to play around like I do, that's just one of the ways I play with some of these older games. The Jag controller, of course, has the keypad, so it was just like numbered combination. You punch in the number combination, and there it is. So yeah, I did play with unlimited ammo, but hey, whatever. I'm not like going for cool points or anything. I just wanted to finish the game. So yeah, pretty cool level designs. I mean, as cool as they can be. I mean, the graphics suck. But I do like the way that the levels are set up. You know, there's water, and there's a level where you have to destroy some bridges, and that was kind of cool. The levels that were actually pretty tough were the ones that require you to defend something. Like there's one pretty early on where you're supposed to be defending your headquarters, which is like in the middle of the map, and then all the way around the headquarters is a bunch of buildings, and like hidden in between these buildings and stuff is enemy tanks and stuff like that that are shooting at your headquarters. And there's lots and lots of helicopters flying around doing the same thing, shooting missiles at you, shooting missiles at you, shooting missiles at the headquarters, and you're supposed to defend it. So you like take them out before it takes your base out. So those kind of levels were kind of tough. I think there's 3 or 4 of them. I think there's 16 levels in total. A couple other the tougher levels were when you actually have to fight against enemy mechs. That was pretty tough too. And the last level was it took me 3 or 4 tries to actually beat the last level. But as far as I could tell, there was unlimited continues. Like, so if you failed the level, you can just start right back at that level again. And yeah, that's the way it played. So yeah, lots of Jaguar love this time around. There's actually only 2 Jaguar games now that I own that I haven't beaten. Well, 3, but I don't count Evolution Dino Dudes because yeah, I don't want that game. It sucks. But that's me. That's an opinion. But Trevor McFur and the Crescent Galaxy, that's a tough game. So horizontal shoot 'em up, and also Tempest 2000, which is an arcade game that I probably will never beat. So yeah, I don't like have it on my backlog or anything like that because it's not a game I'm gonna beat. But the last game that I beat that I'm going to talk about at length, I'll go ahead and talk briefly. Say that I did beat Dust and Elysian Tale for the Xbox Live Arcade, and it will have its own video, probably record it right after I'm done with this one. So check that out too. But the last game that I beat that I'm actually going to talk about, that was my console game. Besides the 2 Jag games, that was my console game. I put about 10 hours in total. 6 or 8 of those was recently, and because I had started it several months ago and then picked it back up recently. So anyway, I'll talk about that more like that later. But next game I beat that I'm actually still playing is New Super Mario Brothers for the Nintendo DS. I love this game. It's awesome. There's parts of it that are really tough, and it's at the same time it's really easy because there are tons and tons of power-ups and lots of coins, and the star coins that you collect that you can unlock levels, and you can also unlock whatever you call it, where you get bonuses. Those little bonus mushroom levels. Some of them are the green mushrooms. You go in there and you guess which blocks are mushrooms, and you get a whole bunch of them. I've come out of a couple of those with 20 1-ups. That's just how it kind of went. I was always kind of on the verge of having 0 lives left, and a couple of times I did get a game over. But then if you hit continue, it starts you back over with 5 lives, and you can go back to all those mushroom levels and get stock back up on 1-ups. I think I hit continue twice in the regular story. There's 8 worlds, but as far as I know, you can skip 2 entirely, and you can skip world 4 and world 7, and go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8. I think about that for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and yeah, that's kind of how it goes. And then I went back and actually, after I beat the final Bowser, I went back and played all the way through World 4, and now I'm in World 7, and it is hard. I don't know why I'm struggling with it so much. It's clouds, and it's, you know, like the jumping from moving platform to moving platform, and I'm just horrible at it. I just can't judge it for some reason. I'm struggling so much with it. But I did beat the game. I did beat the main story, but now I'm just going back trying to finish World 7. And once I finish World 7, and I've already kind of started to do this, but I'm going back to the levels and trying to get all the star coins, so I can unlock the bonus levels and stuff, you know, that were unlockable in the regular worlds. So yeah, I don't think there's, you know, necessarily another ending. Like, I think once I beat all the levels, that's just it. I don't know if I can actually, you know, go through and beat Bowser again and have something different come of it. I don't know. But if you don't know much about the game, which I don't know how you would not know, but it's, you know, classic back to roots, 2D style Mario. It's awesome, a lot of fun. What can I say? There's a couple of the power-ups I didn't care for. I did not care for the turtle shell, because I wasn't positive of its practical application, other than it just made it so you took an extra hit, you know, much like the flower and all that other stuff. And I really didn't like the mini mushroom. I understand the usefulness of it to get to certain areas. Like there was places where there was a little bitty tube that you had to have the mini mushroom to go down that pipe, and there was like also, you know, areas like that's how you actually get to World 4, is you have to beat World 2, not 3, World 2 with, you know, as mini Mario, and then after you beat the boss of that castle, then when you're leaving, instead of going straight to World 3, you jump down a little corridor and go to World 4. So I mean, it's stuff like that. I understand, I guess, but the mechanics of the mini Mario are just way off for me. Like, it was just tough. Not that this is a bad thing. This isn't really a criticism of the mini Mario and the mini mushroom. It's just that I couldn't get used to it. That's all I'm saying. For some reason, you jump really high when you're mini Mario, and you float because you're smaller and have less air resistance, I guess, or more. Hell, I don't know. You just kind of float down. So you fall slowly. So it really makes it tough to time jumps and stuff like that, because, you know, it's just that it changes the entire mechanic of the jump. So, and also when you jump on enemies, you know, Goombas and Koopa Troopas and all that stuff, whatever you call them, they don't die. You just bounce off of them because you're too small. You can't squish them, which again makes sense. It's fine. It's not a criticism. It's just I couldn't get used to it. I did really like the giant mushroom, where you turn into, you know, this gigantic Mario and you just destroy everything. That was kind of cool. There was places where you couldn't do that though, like where you would power up and then you couldn't move forward. It would just stop you. I was like, well, that sucks. But you know, that only happened to me like once, and then I just kind of avoided the giant mushroom unless I knew that I could, you know, do some damage and get away with it. I like the star coin kind of aspect of it, where you have to collect these, you know, 3 star coins per level, and you use them, you know, as actual currency, whereas, you know, the regular coins, you know, you just, you know, get 100 and you get a 1-up. I mean, that's the only application of them. But the star coins is actually like a currency of sorts, you know, where, like I said, you could unlock levels and you could unlock bonus stage, you know, bonuses, you know, power up bonuses and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. I liked how most of the worlds had, you know, like similar to, you know, Super Mario Brothers 3's, like the most recent one that I played that I can compare it to. And I guess it's probably like Super Mario World also, you know, where there's like a mid-level boss, you know, and then the end of the level 1. And I can't remember which one it was. It must be World 8, maybe more than one, but there was two of those mid-level castles, you know. After playing a couple of stages, there was a castle, and then a couple more stages and a castle, and then the last castle, or whatever. I can't remember exactly how many there were, but for sure at least one. There was two of the smaller castles before you actually had the castle at the end of the world. But I really liked the design of all the worlds and stuff like that, and yeah, it was really fun. Obviously, I keep rambling on and on and on about it, but it's a fantastic game. Check it out if you have a DS or a 3DS and you're a fan of Mario, because it's really good. Last but not least, here in this video, the only other game I've been playing recently, really. Oh, I guess there's another one too, but I haven't been playing it as much. I've been playing Hexen a little bit on my PC. I'm kind of stuck. It's really tough. It's an id game. It's a first-person kind of dungeon crawl, not kind of first-person shooter. I mean, you're facing enemies and stuff in real time, so it is first-person shooter-esque, but it feels more like a dungeon crawl because you're just searching around looking for pieces and stuff. Pieces of the puzzle, you know, collecting items and flipping switches and stuff like that. It's really confusing. Really fun though, having a blast with it. But it's not for the weak. It's a tough game. You die a lot, and the enemies are tough, and yeah, tough game. Look up some YouTube footage of it sometime. Hexen, it's really good. Lastly here. Fellow YouTuber and I, Pierce Jedi, have been playing co-op of Halo 4, enjoying it a lot. Love the Halo series, of course, as you well know. If you're not new to my channel, you know that I'm kind of a Halo fanboy. I finally got to play this. We started a couple of weeks ago and played, I don't know, hour and a half, something like that. And then we had to go back. Seems this last week we had to go back and play a lot of it over again, which kind of sucked. But you know, what the heck? Give me a chance to get used to using the Promethean weapons and fighting the same Prometheans that I already beat once over again. But yeah, it's really fun. Of course, I won't give any spoilers away. A lot of fun. Love it. I love the change of pace, kind of the you know, the different enemies, different weapons. I actually think it's a really good fresh concept. You know, whatever for the Halo franchise, of course. Some people, you know, really were just over the Flood, and I've heard a lot of people talk about, you know, this game not having the Flood is what makes it so good. But you know, as much as I hate the Flood, at the same time, it was kind of a comforting, almost, you know, it was aspect of the game. I actually didn't mind that much. Seems like the Flood were a little easier to deal with in Halo 3 than they were in 1 and 2. Seemed like they were a lot bigger pain in the ass, at least in 1. Were they in Reach? I can't even remember. Jeez. Hasn't even been that long since I've finished those games, but I honestly can't remember. It seemed like the Flood was a giant pain in the ass in 1 and 2, but it wasn't. I don't remember it being so bad in 3, because I just finished 3 not that long ago. Maybe I'm delusional. I don't know. But anyway, I will be talking about one more game coming up in its own video, just because I probably should have gave New Super Mario Brothers its own video too, because I just rambled on and on and on. But anyway, that's really all I have to talk about. What's next, you ask? I don't know. As you can see, I got some new junk going on in the background here. Got a new set of shelves. New to me, not really new. Actually, I've had this new set of shelves here for a little while too. It's actually like a CD rack that I found at a thrift store for like $2. Bought that. It fits NES games, DS games, and of course disc PlayStation and Dreamcast games perfectly. So there it is. It fits 7 NES games in the little uh, square, which is an interesting number, I know, but hey, it's not really made for NES games. So yeah, I've got some changes going on in here. So I'm really thinking about room tour. I've already done one, but that was about a year ago, and I've acquired a lot of crap since that video was put up on my channel. So I'm really thinking about doing another room tour. I know that Dustin Christ, settling into his new place, is doing a room tour eventually, and Devil May Pie, Danny, a good friend of mine, just put up his room tour. That was spectacular. Watch that. I haven't actually commented on it because I haven't finished watching it yet, Danny, but I did watch it, at least the first 18 minutes or so. I made it through like all the games, and then I had to go do something. So I will finish it and comment. But anyway, I know Ballin Nick 1982 recently did a new game tour, a game room tour video. So it seems to be running rampant along, you know, across a lot of YouTubers that I really like. So I figured, what the heck, I'll go ahead and do one as well. I'll wait a little bit here, but I do plan on doing one. And also, really thinking about doing some collection videos. I don't know, my collection is so small. Each individual console collection is so small, that I'll probably end up lumping things together. I'll probably end up doing a Super Nintendo or Nintendo Super Nintendo N64 one, all the cartridge ones, and then a Nintendo handheld one, and then a Nintendo newer console, which is just GameCube and Wii for me, and I really don't have that many games. So I'm not sure how I will do that. Probably do combo Xbox 360, and I'll probably do, once again, combo PS1, PS2, PS3. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to record an Xbox One reaction video, because there's a lot of those on YouTube right now, which is fine, because a lot of people, have differing opinions about everything that's good and bad about the system, and that's great. It's good to listen to all those, but my opinions aren't strong enough in either direction to make a video. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to let it be. I'm just going to let it be what it is and not worry about it for now. Let's see. Other channel update stuff. I don't think I have anything else. I think that's enough rambling. So be on the lookout. Possible game room tour coming up sometime, and also possible collection videos. I see several of those going up as well. And I owe Alpha Welltall 1028 a CD and cassette collection video. I'll do that sometime. Oh man, I have so many. My CD collection's kind of back there, but it's not as many as I thought I had. I used to have a lot more. I sold a lot and got rid of a lot, but that's alright. I need to shut up. It's 23 minutes into this video. I will end it now. Thanks for watching. Doomwaves out.